See that guy down there riding his bike in the sunshine? Yeah, that's me. In 1988, maybe 1990, it's hard to remember, it's such a long time ago now, I flew out to Catellios on my honeymoon. And the minute I got off the plane, I noticed something weird had happened to me. The hairs on my arm stood up, and the back of my neck, I felt really odd, like I'd come home. Now I know a lot of you say that, but this really is my spiritual home. I've spent all the years since trying to make the dream come true. And when Brexit happened, I applied for my biometric. And now, I live here. Now over the years, as you can see, if you've been coming a long time, Lourdes has changed immensely. There was one taverna on that beach when I first came, and none of these houses were here, maybe one or two. So you could say that me and the island have changed a lot over the years. I mean, I'm divorced now. Some things are for good, some things are for the worse. I mean, the divorce was terrible, but I've got 2 good children out of it. And I suppose the island now generates a good income for the people who live here. So it's not all bad. If you could, I would really appreciate it if you hit the like, share and subscribe, sat back and enjoyed the ride. Who am I? Well, my name's Rudgy, otherwise known to the bike world as the Doctor. So, let's get into it and see what's going on in my life today, shall we? It's Friday, here we go.
Hi and welcome back to Rudgy aka the Doctor, and if you've just joined me, as I said on the intro, if you wouldn't mind hitting the like, the share and the subscribe and sitting back and enjoying the ride, that would help me an awful lot. And those of you who are kind enough to visit the coffee page, thank you ever so much. You are the reason these videos are getting made now, to be honest, because I'm retired. I'm on a pension and not a full one at that. Thanks to the UK and the way they work. Never mind, we won't go into that now. So where are we going today, Rudgy? Well, I thought I'd have a day off and I've ended up filming the life of a YouTuber. Yeah, so I'm just driving around really, and I visit places that are shut in the winter when I do that, and this is going to be one of them. Where is it? Well, I'm not going to tell you. I want you to watch the video. So if I told you, you might go, oh, I don't want to watch that, and tune out. So anyway, should we get on with it? I think we should. In response to one of the road trips I did, which was down to Fuki Beach, is it? I think it's pronounced. Fuck you, we pronounce it. Anyway, yeah, you all like that, so I thought I'd do another one because I'm going out today. I wasn't going to film. I've got enough footage for the moment, and I needed to get out, so I'm taking you out the back of my village now, towards Karuza. There you are, there's the sign. It's starting to get developed, unfortunately. This was all fields, and when I moved in to the house nearly 3 years ago now, it'll be 3 years in March 26, this house here hadn't started being built, and now it's up and finished with a swimming pool and a little holiday let attached to it. And as you'll see in a minute, they've started developing that there. That's being built. I don't know what's going up there. It looks like 2, maybe 3 properties. They're grading some of the little tracks so that you can get down them more easily. It's all a bit worrying. And the problem with it is that they moan about the floods, the water. I see Zakynthos was flooded in the recent storm. Where do they think the water's going to go? If you take all the trees up, which isn't environmentally very good for the carbon capture and all that. See this place here, this has only been up a couple of years. This wasn't built when I moved in. But yeah, where do they think the water is going to go? And how do they think they're going to service all these places? With electric, water, all that sort of stuff. But don't start shouting windmills. Yeah, the infrastructure here was built in the 70s and they haven't really updated it very much. I don't think there's the will or the money for that. Anyway, yeah, off my soapbox. Here's the goat man and his willies. And that brings you out on the main road to Augustoli and Poros. This is the garage that was swamped out in the storm we had at the beginning of the year. You can still see some of the remnants. Now apparently, I don't know how true it is, I was told that the municipality, although I still can't pronounce that properly, we're going to do this road up. So they hadn't agreed with the lady who owned the land to buy it. They were in discussions, but they went and put all the stuff up there, and in the storm it got washed down, because they still hadn't agreed, got washed down onto the garage. Anyway, that's just hearsay, but you know. Coming into Masata now, where I won't be stopping today because I decided I couldn't afford it. Hurrietata, sorry. Yeah, there's a bakery up here that I love, as you know, in Masata, which is just coming up. And I have to make sure I've eaten there before I go out, otherwise if I'm passing it I tend to drop in and it gets expensive. Yeah, anyway, here we are, Masata. And there's your bakery. It's just a brilliant place. Working Greeks use it, you know. I love all that. The lorries pull up and they stop for the sandwiches, and they do hot food as well to take away, so they quite often stop for that. And bus drivers, builders, and in the summer you lot, holiday makers and people like that stop there. I love all that. The only problem they've got is the parking. People tend to park on the road, it upsets one of the neighbours. So there is a car park, as I've pointed out in one of the videos, so please use it if you stop there, because I would hate to think they get into trouble and have to shut the place down because of that. There's the local fire watch, a spot for fires from there. So if I lit my barbecue, because we still haven't got permission to do that, and they saw a lot of smoke, they'd come down, investigate, and you get a big fine for having a fire at the moment. Of course, you're allowed to use enclosed barbecues, but not if there's any trees in the vicinity. And of course mine is surrounded by trees, so can't use it. I do use it in the winter though, and it's safe to do so. I had a barbecue for Christmas. Instead of Christmas dinner, the Hobbit's idea that was. So you're currently looking down at the view on the road that goes through, we're coming through Vlahata now, past the post office. Another little bakery there that I used to frequent. Here's the post office coming up on your right hand side. Well, as far as I know anyway, they've stopped being a post office now, finally, after all those years. I'm not quite sure where the post goes now, because a lot of the places in Vlahata hadn't got an address, so you used to have to go, when I was stopping at Hughes, I used to have to go to the post office to collect my post, because that was the address. Here we are coming out of Lahata now. The views along this road, if you've not been along here, I'm sure a lot of you have, are outstanding. And the next village is Sibutata. Now this is interesting. 2017 I think it was. We had a fire. I don't know whether the camera's picking that up. But yeah, it started in this village and ran all the way down that hill. We were evacuated from Lourdes and Lahata. It was quite serious, but they managed to get it out. There was a few houses damaged, but I don't think anything was lost from what I remember. But yeah, it still bears the scars to this day. I'm only doing this because a lot of you commented on how nice it was to be driven through the villages. You know, a lot of you have gone back to the UK and now you can't get your fix unless you watch my videos, apparently. Oh dear. So yeah, me driving through these little villages and on these roads that are so familiar to you cheers you up, apparently. So if I can be of help, then so be it. That's what I say. Not quite sure where we're going to end up today. I'm just driving. Got the car. I was going to come on the bike because it's nice and warm, and days like that are going to be few and far between. But the bike needed petrol, and I put petrol in the car. And it's easier to do this filming from the car. So I thought, well, we'll go in the car today. Give the bike a break. I'll get some fuel for it tomorrow. Alright, we're coming up to one of my favourite places. Look at the solar panels. Oh, I mean, you know, look at that. Now that'll fire your toaster up, won't it? Hey, look at that. Yeah, the problem I have with all this is I've been watching a lot of documentaries and bits and pieces on all this technology. It's not that I'm against it. I think if you put a solar panel on, a few solar panels on somebody's house, then that's the way forward, because a lot of properties probably wouldn't need much else, especially out here. And of course in the UK it's not practical to have a wind farm in your garden, but there's things that could be done. However, covering farmland with solar panels and wind farms, I don't think is the way forward, and I certainly don't think, from the evidence I've seen, we'd have to cover half the blooming planet in this stuff to fuel everything. And even then it's not going to work all the time because the sun's unreliable and so is the wind. Anyway, that's my point of view, but I do think it's part of the solution, part of it. I don't think we should be forced into it either, that's the other thing. Anyway, that's my views on solar. You all know where I'm coming from. The other thing is, while we're on the subject, electric motorbikes and cars, if you want one, crack on. I don't think we should be forced into it. It's all about passion with me. I wouldn't ride an electric bike. If I have to, that's the day I give up riding bikes. There'd be nothing in it for me. Yeah, they're very fast and quiet. Quiet. there's no physical input like going up and down the gears and stuff like that. There's just, no, it's not for me. I've driven electric cars, I know what they're like. No, not for me. But you know, I'm of an age now where hopefully there will be enough petrol around for me to enjoy myself, and then when I've gone, the younger ones can crack on, do what they want, can't they? Road down into Catellios. I'm wondering actually, yeah, let's get down here, shall we? Koroni Beach. If the track's too bad, I'll turn round, but it should be okay. They've just concreted most of it, so let's go down there. Now, as I've said before, that's your signage, and if you miss it, you end up going down there. You don't want to do that, as me and the bucket found out once. You end up in a very nice little village, but you don't end up at the beach, which is a bit of a disappointment. I've done it once or twice past the sign, but now I know I can turn around and come back. You might not know. The first part of it is concrete. I have filmed this before actually, on the bike. It was when I first started putting the music on. Got me a few complaints. Now this is compacted gravel, and the first part of the season, be aware that it will probably be washed out. It'll be very bumpy, so if you come down in your hire car, be careful. But there are houses and villas down here now, so they tend to try and keep it fairly good. And as I said on an earlier video, just take your time. Here we go, here's the first bit of gravel off the concrete. Sorry about the jiggly camera, but as soon as we're on a track, I'm holding the camera by hand now. Get some better views. As you can see, we've had quite a bit of rain in the last few weeks, and it's started to affect this track. I won't want to come down here in another couple of months in Kylie. The bike's a little different. You can pick your route. With this car, you've got four wheels to worry about, and it makes it a little bit more difficult. But at the moment, it's the track's okay. Now here's a case in point. This guy here is off grid, look. See how many solar panels he's got to have in his garden to run that place? Personally, I think we should be sticking them on factory roofs. Lidl's here, we've got those shades that you've probably seen when you come here that go over the car. You just pull underneath them and it keeps the car in the shade. Why don't they put solar panels on top of those instead of in fields? There's big, I mean, we've got some massive warehouses in the UK. If you drive down the M5 towards Devon, I think it's Morrison's, is it? They've got a massive complex there. If you put solar panels all across the roof of that, that'd save a farmer's field, wouldn't it? Anyway, yeah, if you're coming down to Koroni, don't expect it to be a very short track. It's quite a distance. But as you can see, it's a mixture of concrete, which we're on now, and compacted gravel. And look at that view. Look at that. And this is the first glimpse you get of the beach. Let's get out and have a look, shall we? Right, got the car parked up properly, out the way, for the minute anyway. So I don't know when this video is going out, but if it's grey wherever you are and raining, I hope this is going to cheer you up. There's the property we passed with all the solar panels. Pretty idyllic, that. The sort of place a hobbit would love. And there's your mountain. As you can see, concrete road. Not too bad. And it's concrete down there. Right, let's get back in Kylie and crack on. Well, that was your view. But there's plenty more to come, don't worry about that. Now then, this road here was closed for a while, as I said in a previous video, due to a land dispute, which meant that you guys couldn't come down here for ages. Apparently, the farmer who owns the land that the road runs through hadn't given permission for him to put the road through it, and they just did it, and he decided he wanted some compensation. I think he lost his case eventually, and I think it's a bit out of order from what I've read. I think they could have diverted the road. Look at that view. Yeah, I think they could have diverted the road, or given him some compensation, but anyway, that's how it is, I guess. It's all open again now, and you guys can drive down there, and a lot of you won't ever know the story, just know it was inconvenient, you couldn't get down there. Like I say, there's two sides to every tale. I've only read about it, so I'm just going on what I've read. It looks like there's somebody down there enjoying the beach. It's funny, I drove through Lordas last night. I went to get some provisions from the... Now, before we go any further with that, this bit of concrete runs out here. I don't know why they didn't continue it down there, but there you go. You see there's a huge drop of about 8 to 12 inches probably. It's quite deep. So if you're coming down in your hire car, you can get down and it's quite safe. You just got to be really careful. Anyway, yeah, as I was saying, I drove through Lordas last night, and I suddenly thought, you know, if somebody had told me what I'd be doing back then, what I'd be doing now, I would have just laughed and said, "You're having a laugh, ain't you? There's no way." And here's another one of those little bumps. As you can see, the track's quite good, but the concrete needs to be levelled out a bit more, really, I think. A bit more of a ramp. Yeah, so dreams do come true. True story. This bit of concrete is much better than it used to be. It used to be terrible, this bit of road. There's a good viewing platform here, which I'm not going to bother with today. The Hobbit hates it. Get away from the edge, she says. which is another thing. If you don't like roads with no barriers, then this isn't for you. And of course, this is the beach with the famous tree. If you know, you know. There's plenty of parking here. Now, in the summer, a friend of mine, I think a young couple, have a little cantina down on the beach. It's just a fantastic place to come. If you flick back through my videos, you'll see it. I was here earlier on in the year. I come every year to see him, maybe have a burger, and I brought Norton and Yaz down there for the swimming. I think in recent storms and stuff we've lost some of the trees. There's some trees here which you didn't actually see the beach straight away, which made it even more exciting. Quite rough today because, like I say, we've had a few storms. Go and have a look. Well, we're having a good day today. I've just realised I've forgotten my phone. Luckily, the phone I'm using as a camera doubles up as my Greek phone, which I don't use very often, which is why I can do that, because nobody's going to ring me and interrupt the filming. So I have got something if there's an emergency, but you know what it's like, guys, when you forget your phone. Anyway, that's the road we've just come down. There's your mountain, all looking lovely. There's Kylie parked under the tree, and there's the beach. But if you like Norton and the Hobbit, and you like to be a bit more private, come to this end of the car park. It's just a fantastic place. This island is just spectacular. I can see why people fall in love with the place. Anyway, there's a nice little path that people have made down here. And you can come all the way around here. It's a bit stormy today, so I'm not expecting there to be much sand or anything here. Now, my boy Norton and his girlfriend came swimming here. There you go. As you can see, there's a little beach there, which is great if you've got sandwiches, and I dare say there's another one further on. I haven't been over there. Norton and Yaz came here because they could change without anybody watching them and have a swim. As you can see, blooming spectacular. However, if you don't walk well, it's a bit like No Shoes Beach. I don't advise it. Anyway, I'm going to walk over there now and get myself on that beach and have a look. Right, well, here we are back at the car. Used to be a sign up there saying no nudity on this beach. Somebody sprayed it out, so obviously they like being nude and took umbrage on the sign. Anyway, yeah. It's nice to see somebody enjoying the beach. Yeah, so this is where my friend's cantina is usually. He does really good food. He's only got a small grill, but he does really nice burgers, salads, things like that. And he does Moroccan food, I think. I can't remember now. Like I say, if you scroll back, you'll see he's also got a little chill area there in the shade. He rents out brollies and beds and stuff. Yeah, a good place to come. As you can see, it's been a little bit stormy, and we tend to lose part of the beaches when that happens. Right, I'm going to walk along here for no other reason than I can, and I need the exercise. So you're all coming with me on. Never gets too crowded, this beach. It's a fantastic place to come. All sorts of little places to explore if you're a kid. So it's quite good to bring your young children down here, I suppose. Over in the distance there, you can just about make out the castle. I'd say it's about 25 minutes from my house to here. What a great day. Like I say, it's been raining and pretty gloomy. I had to use the car quite a lot. I've been out on the bike the day before yesterday. Hi. Now, because I forgot to bring my phone, that is the one that I usually use for the walking shots. It takes out that bit and I can get rid of the rest of it on the editing suite now. That brings me to another point. Some of you may have noticed that the subtitles cropping up now on the videos, and the reason for that is that if I'm on a motorbike or somewhere noisy where there's a lot of wind, I can use AI to pick up what I was saying so that you don't have to struggle to hear me, you can read it. Unfortunately, I discovered with my dyslexia, I didn't pick it up straight away. It makes words up if it can't hear me properly. And some of it made no sense. I have tried to alter quite a lot of it when I've used it. All these little mistakes. So I apologise for that. As I said before, I'm self-taught, so all this stuff, and it keeps evolving as well while I'm learning, and they keep changing stuff and I lose things. Anyway, I think you'll agree, this is a fantastic beach. And it's big enough that it never gets too crowded. So I'm going to get back to the car now, and I think there's enough time in the day to travel on to maybe Catellios, have a look and see what's going on over there. I don't know when this film's going out. I'm trying to get some sunny stuff so that I can put that out during the winter for you. But we'll see how it goes. Not too shabby, is it really? Koroni out of season. Yeah. Now, what I should have done really, but of course I had to pass the bakery, didn't I? But what I should have done was make some sandwiches up. And I could have sat here and chilled for half an hour or so. Wouldn't have made very good footage. But like I say, it's supposed to be a day off. I wasn't going to be filming today. Somebody going in for a swim over there. Other than me. She has got flippers on though. No point in me going in the side if she drowns. Listen to that. That's better than any music you could play, isn't it, really? That's not to say that my friend who owns the cantina up there doesn't play music, but you can't really hear it down on the beach. He doesn't play it that loud. So, if you want music, you can sit outside his cantina and have a drink and listen to the music. If you don't, you can go up here and you can't hear it. But listen to that. Good for the soul. That's what that is. Now I've had a little sit down and a little contemplate. Going to leave that young lady to read her book. She's the only one on the beach now. So, quite nice, I suppose. Something I rarely do is sit for 5 or 10 minutes on somebody's beach and just take it in. My head's quite a noisy, racy place normally, and you'll notice a lot of my videos revolve around cafe bars and gigs. It's because I like to ride the bike and I need a destination, so usually a cafe bar is the place. Whereas today, well, I fancied sitting on a beach. Unusual for me, but why wouldn't you want to do that here? I'll leave you with that thought. I'm going back to the car now, get some shopping in and put this into a file so I can edit it. Ah, yes, the tree. If you know, you know, unfortunately. Right, so let's head towards Catellios, but I'm going to go through the village that I got lost in once. Because I happen to know that a few of you like that sort of thing. A windmill in his garden there, but isn't that nice? It appears to be a proper one. A lot of wild horses down here apparently lately, so you have to be careful when you're driving. Drive at an appropriate speed. I think there was a guy seriously injured when he hit one recently. Look at all those oranges. And there you are. That brings you out on the road to Catellios that way, Argostoli that way. So I'm off to Catellios now. Okay, so that was a look at Koroni Beach, a little road trip. I've had a lot of people messaging me saying that they like the road trips, so maybe we'll do some more of them. As for the news and the weather, yes, that will be coming back. It's just that, as you know, my mental health isn't the most stable, and I didn't feel like doing them. And it's a difficult thing to fake, really. So yeah, we'll leave it at that. Anyway, I've had plenty of footage recently, so I've been doing the old-fashioned style videos where you just get to see Kefalonia. So that was that. I've got a little list here of comments and things. Yeah, I can't remember the guy's name now. Who said he was going to try the method of burning the varnish off before you start sanding. All I'd say on that is be careful you don't scorch the wood, don't get it too hot. But other than that, you'll figure that out, and it does make a big difference. I've just done, we had to, me and Staffis had to break in because I locked myself out the other day. You'll see on an upcoming video. So I had to take this window out, and I'm doing the varnish on these windows. So I thought, well, while I got the window out, I'd do the varnish on that. It took me minutes just to take the varnish off, and then all you have to do is lick it off if it's in good condition. So lick it off. Lick it off with a sandpaper. Anyway, yeah, so there was that, and then there's the bends in the road. Yeah, I have an unorthodox way of riding anyway. I was somebody once said when I was in the club, don't follow Roger, it makes no sense, but somehow he throws the bike about and gets there. Yeah, out here, it's because I'm constantly scanning not only the road ahead, but also what's in front of me. And out here you get potholes, gravel, sand, rocks, all sorts of things. So yeah, you'll notice if you actually look that I'm probably avoiding some of that. And on one of the bends, I did go back and have a look at the video. On one of the bends last week, yeah, I did take it pretty wide, and that was because I could see that the road was in bad condition. So that's that. It looks like I'm going faster than I am sometimes, especially in the car. Not quite sure why that is. I will film that for you to prove a point. What was the other one? Music. Yeah, music. Well, it's on an editing suite that I've got. You can't just put any music on YouTube. You'll get charged for copyright. Well, you won't get charged. What happens is YouTube take your video down, which is inconvenient. So the editing suite have got a load of generic music that you can use. And as I've said before, the reason we all use that is because it's designed so you can stretch it or shorten it, and the computer will work out with AI where to put the lead breaks and bits and pieces in, so it makes sense. You couldn't do that if you'd downloaded your favourite tune off iTunes or something. It wouldn't work. Yeah, hi to Brenda. Missed that last week. What else have we got? Oh yeah, Lisa. Not bad for a pensioner. Yeah, I suppose I'm 19 when I'm on the bike again. It's the only place I am. Anyway, that's that. That's this week's video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all your support and all your comments. As you see, I do read them. It's just that I'll explain that as well while we're here. If I answered all the comments, some of them are like 3 or 4 years ago that you've been watching a video, and it pops up. That's what some of you might not see. It pops up on my YouTube feed that you've commented. So if you add all those to the ones from last week, which might be 1 or 2, you end up with quite a lot of things you've got to answer, and you add that to the emails and the WhatsApp and the Facebook, which I don't mind, and the coffee page, of course, and it takes a bit of time out of the day. And of course, I'm now 2 to 3 days sometimes editing these videos, and then I have to go out and find some more footage, which I'm going to do now. So that's why I don't always, I can find the time to leave a heart or a thumbs up so you know I've seen it. And I'll do my best to answer you in the upcoming video, because it's footage at the end of the day. Anyway, that's that. Thanks for watching, guys. Isn't it lovely down there? Just is, isn't it? Anyway, thank you ever so much for supporting me and hitting the like, the share and the subscribe and sitting back and enjoying the ride. Thank you for that. Massive help. And as I said at the top of the video, those of you who visited the coffee page, thank you ever so much for that. Your titles are coming up in a minute. So yeah, that's all I've got to say on the subject, really. Just remember that dreams do come true. True story. But as my gran once said, be careful what you wish for. You might just get what you thought you wanted. While we're on that subject, all this looks wonderful, doesn't it? But if you watch me on a regular basis, you'll know I have my demons, and living in Greece isn't easy. And I'm about to apply for my 10-year biometric, so I'll be taking you through the process of that. We'll see how that goes. So far, I've had a pretty easy ride of it. I managed to get my AMCA insured, which is my healthcare, with my S1 from the UK. The biometric wasn't easy to get, but I did get it. I've had a few problems along the way to deal with, and they've all gone okay so far. So we'll see how the next step goes. And I'd like you to be with me when we do it. So anyway, that's it for this week. I hope to see you next week. Remember, wherever you go, there you are, and it's a great day to be alive. Catch you guys later.